Ooh.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Sorry I'm a little bit late. But thank you for joining us today on Saturday, November 25th. We decided to go live since back. Um, we're both back in New Jersey for the holidays, and we don't usually get to meet up that often. So we said, figure, let's go live. We didn't have like any really big plans for our birthday, anything. We're not, well, I speak for myself. I'm not really a big birthday person. I didn't grow up celebrating my birthday like that. So I was like, okay, we don't have much planned. Let's just go live and have a discussion about um, what we miss about living in New Jersey. So we're just gonna wait for a few more people to join in. But thank you so much for the few that are in here for joining us today. Any more travel plans on our birthday? We really, really appreciate it. We know there's so many things you could be doing on a Saturday afternoon, and it is a weird time, 3 p.m. But you decided to spend the time here with us, and we're very, very, very grateful for that. So thank you so much for joining. And basically, I guess we'll start because we don't want the beginning to be too dragged out. In reference to what personally I miss living in New Jersey, I would really just say it's family. Outside of that, I don't really miss anything about living in New Jersey. I'm not gonna lie. Like, thank you, Haven. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't miss much about living in New Jersey. And every time I come back here, I'm just wondering, like, how did I live here? Like,
We're in my room. This is the room I was in last year, up until last year when I moved in February. And I'm always just like, wow, like perspective is very important, right? So I feel like when you don't know, not to say if you I didn't know better, right? But when maybe you don't have the opportunity or you're just used to something, it doesn't really bother you as much. But it's until you go and see something else and you come back and you're not making the comparison. I'm just like, how was I like staying here for so how was I here for so long? Like, of course I have my own room, you know what I mean? It's not like I was like struggling or anything, but it's like every night I'm thinking about my apartment. Like literally every day I'm thinking about my bed. And it's not like you don't want to be ungrateful because you're like, oh, you want to spend time with your family, getting older. These moments are very precious. You don't know how, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like there's nothing like being in your own space. There's nothing.
Today I had to stand up and do my makeup. I don't ever like. I'm so not
I
used
always
to
stand up
that
and do
standing
it.
up and doing my makeup. Well, you didn't do it today, so
I always stand up in my mirror in my bathroom.
so I was like, oh gosh. But yeah, it's been a good. I think my biggest issue, I'm not gonna lie, with New Jersey really is just the cold, and just the isolation, the isolated feeling. I even feel kind of sometimes now when I come back, and just very very dry, like very. And I get it, maybe because I haven't been here in a while. I haven't lived here in a while. So that just might be my personal experience. But I just personally don't think New Jersey really has much to offer for young people. I think it's good. Like, I think it's a good place for young people that have families, like people that want to raise kids. I could see them staying here. And especially if your family's already here, like, you're not just most likely to get up and go to a new city if you didn't have to. Like, some people have to, like, let's say they're in medical school, they're doing fellowship, or they're doing a residency somewhere. Like, those type of situations take you places you don't have any control, right? You have to do what you have to do. But I don't see someone like a lot of people I grew up with randomly after being so comfortable in Jersey just saying, oh, I'm going to go and move to a new city. It's not really real. It's not realistic. But what would you say is what you miss most about living in New Jersey?
And definitely family, not paying tax on clothing, not pumping your gas. Yeah, I think it's just the and also just being familiar with things. Like I feel like even though I've been in Houston almost 2 years, to like a year and a half ish, there's still so many things I have to learn. Hairstyle, that like I feel like in New Jersey, I know everything. Like I was coming back from the airport, mother's like, "Oh, do you need to put on GPS?" I'm like, "Huh? Like me put on GPS to come back from the airport? How?" Like I know not to say I know everything, but I'm very comfortable. Like I know how to navigate I know the shortcuts. I know where to get this from. I know where to get that from. Like I've lived here so long, like I've learned it very well. Versus like Houston, I'm still learning it. Like there's so much, I have so much, and it's a city compared to a state, right? But like it's so big, you know what I mean? Like it's just so much that I'm still don't know. So I just feel like New Jersey is definitely my comfort zone, and I understand why people stay where they're familiar
I
with.
feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm looking big. But let's tilt this like this. Okay. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I don't ever see myself moving back to Jersey. Like
Yeah, I think
unless there
something
was
would have to
yeah, like
happen.
God forbid something I would have. Like I just feel like I don't know. It's just to me very boring.
It's
And I'm
very
saying
depressing.
and I'm saying this as a person that's not even really
You know what I'm thinking about
content
y'all
popular.
tonight? DJ Tunes is gonna be at Osu tonight.
Anyway.
I'm thinking about like all like this Nnena once she lose Charlotte, she think about all her Charlotte moves. Like literally since yes, I've been thinking about oh my god, if I was in Houston, maybe I would have done this, I would have done that. Not to say like I'm bored or anything, because I'm not. But I think that's another factor too, just social life wise and things to do. Like even my one friend hit me up like, yo, what's happening? He told me about some like weird part. Like I'm not going to that. Like I feel like the social scene in New Jersey for younger people, like it's just very different. Like it's a good place for families. It's a very good place for families, like professionals and stuff like that, like families. But in terms of like just things to do, I couldn't find it. Maybe it was me. I wasn't looking hard enough, but I struggled to find it.
You have to go to New York. You gotta be ready to go to New York on the weekends.
But even New York, like people say that, but I've been to New York several times. I used to go to New York, but I feel like New York's still like it's still different. Like the vibe is still different. I don't know how to explain.
You didn't like the vibe?
Not that I didn't like it, but I prefer Houston. I prefer going out there than going out in New York, hands down.
And it's easier.
Yeah, exactly. And like, yeah, like, because even if you live in New York, you gotta worry about it's a lot. But yeah, yeah. So I do miss New Jersey. It's nice having 4 seasons. It's just like when it gets cold, it just that the winter is too long. But having it's nice, like fashion wise, you're able to wear certain things. You know, you can pull out boots.
You don't even want to go out. I wear boots in Charlotte, so I don't know
Yeah,
about
y'all
you.
have 4 seasons.
I definitely wear my boots. I brought them.
Y'all
here.
have 4 seasons, just don't have snow.
And it's not as cold, but it still gets cold. Oh, Nigel Link said, "Happy birthday, girl! Thank you. Hi, Mia. Nice to see you. How was your holiday? Bob's happy birthday, girls. Thank you." But yeah, I don't know. And I don't think it's necessarily something about Jersey. I think once you just get used to having your personal space and living on your own, I just feel like it's almost like you can't necessarily feel that comfortable anywhere else from here on, because it's like it's not your personal space. Yeah. You know, like it's not things are not as convenient, you know, it's like it's just it's where you grew up, it's what you knew, but when you have your own place now, it's like, oh, that's
our energy is too low. You need alcohol or something?
Alcohol? I don't drink.
You need something.
No one's stopping you from increasing the energy.
We're too blah blah blah. So yeah, like we're gonna get into.
Want to be fake?
We're gonna do it again. It's not being fake. I just feel like we're too like this is our birthday. We're supposed to be turned. We're supposed to be happy. We're supposed to be energized. Like I feel like we're too blah blah blah.
All right, so you started. I'll follow.
I'm starting it. Yeah. So so that's my thing. But I do I miss Jersey, and I always say I could see myself living here, but it definitely would be something would have to happen. I'm older and preferably I have to be married already. I don't see myself living here as a single person. I remember those days. Those days are not that far behind me. It was literally last year. Literally, it was last year. I know the struggle, just social wise. It wasn't even like I say all the time in our lives before. Everything is not man. There's regular life before man is involved, right? Like in terms of just going out and just meeting people. In terms of even just making like platonic friendships, everything was just so difficult. And like I think it's the setup. I think weather definitely has a part to do with it, but I think it's just the setup. And also you have to remember, like, we just went through a pandemic like 3 years ago. So I feel like all this stuff pre-pandemic, not to say like we still didn't have issues, but the experience was very different. Like my life in New Jersey, and of course, maybe I was a little younger, I was a little more open-minded, I was a little bit more free. But my life in New Jersey pre-pandemic was very different. Then I wasn't really here that long after, because literally she moved a year to pandemic. But I can say like I can compare like before 2020 and after 2020, because I was here to 2022, and it was very different. Like literally almost night and day. It just like the pandemic shaked everything up.
And people got used to staying indoors.
Yeah, like you disconnected. You weren't meeting up with people as much. You weren't going to the gym. Church was virtual. It's like all your social networks kind of got like cut off. People were going to school from home. Everything was, virtual. And then you go back into the real world, and it's like we're still adjusting versus somewhere like let's say like Texas, the state, they never fully, even North Carolina, they never really fully shut down.
That's true.
So like they were shut down for like a few months, but like they wasn't shut down. They didn't really.
It wasn't like Jersey.
Yeah, so I just feel as if like I even have some restaurants in New York we used to go to that like permanently closed. Even in New Jersey, some places I used to go to permanently closed after the pandemic. Like it changed things a lot. So I think it's unfair to look at it without factoring that in, because I think that is a big, big thing. Because we used to have, we used to try. We used to go here, go to New York, summertime, go to, what's the festival
But
they
I
have?
think the big factor is that like even me leaving, a lot of things you did with me. If you really want to be honest, like you weren't jumping around with like random friends.
But that's why I said I don't think it's
people.
just because it was New Jersey. Even if I lived in Houston and all my people left, I didn't have friends, I was still be bored. It would just be the weather's a little better, right?
Mhm.
It's a little cheaper to live. But as I said, I don't think it's fair just to push it all on location, because there's other things that have changed my experience. All my cousins, my sister, everyone moved. Everyone I was close to moved, or I fell out with them, right? So like my social circle, like it disintegrated. But I do think there are people in New Jersey who got everywhere. They're having a reasonable time. Like it's not miserable. Like I'm sure there's places in America that are way, like we said, we have New York very close to us. There's places that are way worse that people are like, yo, they're really bored. So I wouldn't say that it's terrible. It's just that I knew that there was better. Like I always knew, like in my heart of hearts, in my mind, I always knew like I need more. Like this isn't enough for me. Like I need more. It was years. It was like years and years. I knew like Jersey wasn't going to be my final destination, but I just had to be patient, finish up school, try and like save a little, make some money first, blah, blah, blah. Like I didn't want to rush the process, but like I always knew like, yeah, like I got to get out of here. And it was, yeah, like I knew that it wasn't because it was a terrible place, but I just knew there was more for me. And like I wanted more. I don't think anything's wrong with that. But y'all let us know where y'all watching from. Who said Hyper? Thank you guys. Yes, today is our birthday. It's crazy. We went live 2 years ago on our birthday. I think that was we just really started going live back then. I remember that live. Yeah, it was
really?
2 years ago. Yeah, we went live. We're going to dinner later in the city. So, we have that plan. But like you said, like growing up, we weren't ever really like big birthday people. I think it just depends on upbringing as well, but it's also to you as a person, because there's people who maybe wasn't a big deal for them growing up, but they still make like really, really big deals out of their birthday. And I can understand now too more like why people travel more on their birthday, because I feel like it takes away all like the having to really do a lot, like having to plan this, or having to like, make sure you're having like you just go on a vacation and it's done. We went to Dubai 6 years ago. No, 6 years ago, 2017. We went to Dubai. That was fun. I feel like it was a very short trip, but I remember that was like probably one of my best birthdays. Like it was fun. It was something different. We were in Dubai. Like, think about how oh my gosh, it was such like a last minute trip. But yeah.
Does anyone have any questions? Because I know that always keeps us engaged. Mia, I know you always have the questions.
Yes, Mia, bring it on. We're not going to be here too long. We just wanted to touch base since we haven't been live in a minute, and we probably won't go live this week either. So next week either. So we just wanted to touch base for a bit. How was y'all Thanksgiving? Happy Thanksgiving. That was just 2 days ago. Our birthday falls on Thanksgiving like every 7 years. So not this year, but I feel like that feels like it was like a week ago. That was just 2 days ago. That was just 2 days ago. This time is going by very, very quickly. Let me see.
And so I mean, Jersey's not terrible, but definitely I couldn't see myself living here again. I think it's pretty boring. And I'm saying this as someone who doesn't even do that much in Charlotte. Like my life is not, oh my gosh, my life is not so dramatic and so eventful and so drastic. But yeah, Jersey's not it. Thanksgiving was great. I'm visiting family in Brooklyn, heading back to Charlotte tomorrow. Oh, nice. Brooklyn. Did y'all get any good gifts or things y'all want to buy yourself for your B-Day? I just bought like some items. Like we went to Zara yesterday. Then I'm gonna do a little bit of online shopping, but not dress because I need makeup brushes. I'm just gonna get myself basic things, but no like special big gift.
Last year,
what?
I OD.
For your birthday?
Yes, I bought so much. November, I spent so much money. Like last year, when I bought a new phone, I bought just my Apple Watch. I bought a bag. I was just buying. Like so, this year I was like, I gotta calm down. I can't do that much. traveling next month, so I have to be a little bit responsible. But yeah, you know, and also our birthday falls during this Black Friday stuff, so you know it's tempting with all these sales and stuff. But you know, you just have to be disciplined.
I just try and focus on things I actually need versus things I want.
Right.
Like try and get the sales and get things that I actually need to buy anyway. So it's not like I'm just buying things to buy. But I know Saturday is a pretty rough day to go live because I feel like people are out. But at the same time, I feel like if I wasn't live right now, I don't think I'll be doing anything.
I think
maybe because it's a holiday Saturday.
I feel like it's the time too. Like it's in the middle of the day.
Right. So it has to be like early or late.
Or late, like evening. Like yeah, it's a hard time because it's
Haven said, I gotta hit up Zara before I head back since there's no Zara in Charlotte. Yeah, I went to
make
Zara
sure you try
last
on
night.
your clothes because you return to Zara, you gotta pay for return since there's no store. You gotta, you know, do that. I don't know, none of those about it, but there's no return, there's no store, so returns is the issue.
I mean, but they did open a Primark. I saw in Concord Mills. I've never been to Concord Mills personally, but I hear a lot about it. It's like, yeah, it's like it's in Concord, but it's like a mall kind of, I don't know if it's like an outlet or actually a mall, but I hear a lot about it. And they have a Primark. I was like, that's impressive. I've never been to Primark, never been to Concord Mills. So I might go there just to check it out because it's like, I believe it's from Ireland, like a really popular store that they have in the UK. Yeah, but it's not.
But it's supposed to be like it's like a lower end store, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's there, maybe like the Forever 21 kind of, like kind of on that level. So I'm like, oh, okay. Charlotte's trying Mia. How's Ohio? Are you in Ohio?
How's the weather in the Midwest? Midwest weather is
Ohio's considered Midwest?
Yes, Ohio's the Midwest.
Do y'all shop on Shein? That's my favorite spot to shop. I personally don't. I don't shop on Shein. I just those sites, like even I used to do a lot of Fashion Nova, but to me they have too much clothes. That's my issue. I just feel like they have too much clothes. I will spend days going through all their clothes. I feel like they have too much clothes, but I see people wear the stuff and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like I like it, but it's too overwhelming for me. So these days I just stick to like, I personally prefer shopping in the store.
Me too.
I know. Wi-Fi. Concord. First time I need to go. Maybe I'll go one Sunday after church. Okay, so what do you miss about? You already talked about what you miss about.
I said I miss family. I missed shopping.
Though.
The gas still here.
Did we stop? Did we go in and out, or were you guys seeing us this whole time? Because for us, we got a blank screen, so we just want to make sure the internet is not acting up.
But I said I miss a family. I miss shopping, not pumping gas. You know, it's just I said the familiarity of things. And I understand that's why people stay where they are, right? Because even if you may have issues with it and you're not crazy about it, it's not easy learning things all over again.
Mia said, yeah, I just chilled this holiday. It's 45 degrees here. I think it's the same
colder.
here.
It's 40 degrees right now.
I'm not really going out tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. Waiting for the warm weather to do stuff. I know that's right. It was freezing up. It's fine now. Yeah, I really don't do good with this cold weather. I'm not even gonna lie. I really don't do well with it, but it gets cold in Charlotte too, so I'm not gonna front like it's only cold in New Jersey.
I don't know how you packed. I don't know where you're coming to.
But I feel like if you're trying to go out, like it's your birthday, like you want to still wear like a dress, like you want to wear something dressy.
But you don't have to. You're getting in a car and you're going into a spot. You're not like walking. You know what I mean? Like you're not walking around. Like you're not like what you wear doesn't really matter. You're gonna have a jacket. You're just in the car. You come out.
I guess that's true. So I could still wear a dress.
That's true.
Mia said, "What's your favorite holiday?" I don't think I have a favorite holiday.
My favorite holiday is Easter.
I don't have a favorite holiday.
My favorite holiday is Easter.
Haven said, "I miss a lot about Chicago and Los Angeles. The access to multicultural food, close access to everything. I'm sure you're getting that in. I'm sure you're getting that in Brooklyn, though. I'm sure.
But she don't live there.
Oh yeah, true. You're just
visiting.
Works World. Hey, you in Jersey? Yes, it's your state. We're in Jersey. We're in Jersey for the holidays. Mia said, my B-Day in May, so it's always tough to do then. Warm weather. Yeah. November is, I mean, I guess we just used to be in Thanksgiving
It's a good
babies.
travel month, honestly. Like this,
Yeah,
it's just
before
that.
the Christmas season.
Yeah, like November's a really good travel month. I know with Thanksgiving, sometimes it's hard, and we feel like kind of get gypped because of the holiday, because you may want to travel, but it's like if you also want to see family, and then you kind of have to choose. You know what I mean? Because our birthday's always going to be like very close to Thanksgiving, like it's within a week or so. So if you're traveling, most likely you're going to miss Thanksgiving, which I don't necessarily mind, but I get like that's the time you get to see people you don't see like every year or so.
Mhm.
So it's a good time to reconnect. Like we saw a lot of family we hadn't seen in a very long time, especially
Yeah.
post pandemic.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand. But me personally, if I had it my way, my birthday, I would just travel. Like I would just go somewhere, even if it's just 2 days, 3 days, a Caribbean island, Mexico, even.
Yeah, I really want to go to Cabo. I don't
I
know
would
why
just-
that's been on my mind.
I would
going
just
to
travel,
Cabo.
me personally, but I also feel like because our birthday is only like a month from Christmas, it's also difficult because like we go to Nigeria, we go to other places, so it's like I kind of have to choose birthday trip or like Christmas trip because we've done both. Trust me, we've had our wild days when we were younger. We've done both, and it's too much.
It's not
Financial is a lot.
It's too much.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like I basically have to choose a Thanksgiving trip or a birthday trip. I mean, a birthday trip around Thanksgiving, or I have to choose like a winter break trip. And think about winter break, you have more days most times. It's colder, so you need the break more. Like you want to get away, escape the weather more because the weather has really like cooled up by then. So I feel like we always have to kind of choose because our birthday's so close to Christmas. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm celebrating my birthday in Nigeria, so that's why I'm chilling.
Please. Yes, Brooklyn, lots to do. Yeah, you love Brooklyn, lots to do. Works World said it's kind of like it's cold weather that bad.
I don't understand.
I'm shocked that y'all don't get excited for New Year's. I love New Year's party time. New Year's is a good time too. I feel like you get to like sit down and reflect, take on the year. Then I feel like a lot of times you're very positive. You're very like motivated about the new year.
I feel like New Year's usually like I would spend New Year's Eve in church. And then I used to like work a lot on New Year's Day, to get that time and a half. So like I get it though, it's like a new start.
I'm working this New Year's Day, but it's like on call shift.
Yeah, it's kind of like so I don't know. New Year's is good. No, I like New Year's. But
that's true. If I have to pick my favorite holiday, I think it would be New Year. I think it's like that positive mindset
that comes
that
pressure that comes with you
with the new year.
Because people start to say this. I think this is my first year I didn't set any New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I think this year because like I said, with that New Year is nice, but there's also that pressure of okay, like you want to do this, you want to do that, right? I want to do this. I should be this.
I want to save 100,000.
I want to get married. I want to do this one. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like sometimes like it can be a little much. It can be a bit much. Put that pressure of like, oh, I need to do this in the new year. But I get what you're saying in terms of like the feeling of like, oh, whether maybe I didn't get this done this year, maybe I didn't get to do this, but like still looking forward to like the future or like what the new year can bring. Yeah.
That's a good point. Haven said, do you have other siblings? Yes, we do have other siblings. We do. Yeah, but I do think overall, New Year's, I think probably if I had to pick my favorite holiday, it would be New Year's. Now that you bring this up, I think it would be New Year's. And I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. This live just feels different. Is it because I'm not in my living room in Charlotte?
Yeah, you know you're missing it.
Oh, here Mia go. Mia love these questions. Yeah, do y'all have a special guy taking y'all out for y'all B-Day when y'all get back to y'all city? That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe he's in the chat. We should ask him. Possibly.
But if we're gonna talk real, we like to keep it real on this chat, right? We like to keep it, we like to keep it on this chat. I say we're being too politically correct. I do feel as if sometimes, especially as women, birthdays can be like if you're not with somebody, right? I feel like birthdays can kind of be not sad, but it just makes you feel like
think a lot.
Yeah, like you could start just really thinking, like like especially as you're getting older, like
and then our birthdays are on the holidays.
Yeah,
so your Thanksgiving, people are with their people.
Yeah, so you start thinking like, is this gonna be like this every year? You know what I mean? Like it just gets like kind of like you could kind of like if you're not careful, you can see yourself like going into this like spiral, like this negative like thinking because it's just like a birthday is a blessing to be alive another year, but then it's another year, and you have things in your mind that you think that you're gonna accomplish or that you would want, but then a lot of it you don't really have in your control 100%, like partnership, right? Like we always have to bring in relationships. That's the talk we like. So stuff like that, you don't really like. You can say make like right now. I used to make New Year's resolutions like be like in a relationship, but stuff like that is like you don't really have. Okay, it's not. I don't think it's fair to say you don't have control, right? Because it will kind of be taking away your power, right? In the sense that like you can move a certain type of way to try and get a certain type of outcome, but it's not 100% guaranteed.
You're not gonna force it.
Exactly, you're not gonna force it. So it comes to a point as you're getting older, you think like is it? It's almost like is it not? Is it normal? I'm trying to look for the word. Like, is it weird to be okay and not be partnered? Like, are you supposed to be? It's like it's almost like you being okay. Are you like celebrating yourself? Because even as you're getting older, like you have friends and all that stuff, but it's like people are like by themselves. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like if you really want your birthday to be celebrated, as me personally, I feel like it's either you have to really go all out for it, or like your partner's supposed to do that. Like I don't really feel like it's like I don't think it's like a fair responsibility put on somebody else. Like I feel like I don't know. Maybe that's just me. That's maybe just based on the friend group that I have, or maybe the people that I know, or like my expectations. But I feel like your birthday is really like for your partner. So I just feel like when you think about someone like going all out for you, or like doing a lot of stuff for you, or like make you really feel special, like yeah, your friends can try, your family can try, but I feel like it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like I could personally say like it's not the same. So I just feel as if kind of getting older, like having birthdays when you're not like partnered, it can make you just feel like damn. Like, but at the same time, I've also had the experience of you have to balance the desire and who's above, right? Or someone who's not for you, or having someone on your birthday who's still wasting your time or deceiving you or not being honest. That also is a waste. You know what I mean? So it's like end of the day, you just have to be happy and just be okay in your situation. Understand that like it's just one day. Like I feel like and I feel like that's why sometimes people have so much anxiety with their birthdays because they use it to mark so much. Like they want this to have done, they want this to be accomplished, they want that to be accomplished. But like life still goes on after your birthday.
Honestly, I could say this is the first birthday in a few years I've actually really been like where like happy, I would say. Like I'm not, oh my gosh, like
like thank you. This one last year,
birthday, like
this last year. Let me tell you, no, we giving y'all tea. Last year was the first year we didn't spend our birthday together. Last year, 2022. This one, she's supposed to come to Houston, had a flight ticket, her and her man's. Why you really just put my business out there like that? Was like,
guys, excuse my nails, y'all. I don't have
she was like off, and I get it. You don't want to go somewhere and like you're not there. Your mood is off. She likes to come when she leaves Charlotte. She's frowning anyway. So imagine her not being the mood on top of the frowning that comes from not being in Charlotte. It's going to be too much. So I was like, I respect it. Like I'm not going to be mad. Like take the time, heal, do whatever you want to do. Just relax. So I'm happy. That's why I'm giving her a hug because I'm happy that this year.
Even the year before when we came to Jersey,
yeah, you're a little
I was a little moody.
Yeah.
Last I don't think there's been a year as bad as last birthday.
So what do you think has changed? Is it God's healing?
I don't think it's that. I just think I hated my job. I think that was making me miserable. Just so many, I wasn't feeling good, health stuff, just in general, all combined. Just I wasn't happy. Like I really, really felt miserable, like crying like a baby on my birthday. And I think a lot of people actually say it's kind of common on their birthday, they feel sad. Mm-hmm. But I was just so when I think about that and I think about like that week and I think about now, I'm like, yeah, I'll take now any day, even if I'm not necessarily where I want to be, or I'm not like, oh my goodness. So
that's why perspective is key. Because you're putting that into perspective, right? And then now when you think about how far the Lord has brought you, you're like, never would have made it. He's so good. Like even if I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be.
I don't want to be like that.
I'm not where I used to be.
I was miserable. Like so I'm happy. 4th of July at the beach. At your age now, do y'all feel like that y'all are where you want to be in life, or thought your life would look different at this age? I think I'm okay with where I am, but I definitely would have thought by now I would be married. Like if I'm just going to be honest, because I've always been that type of person that like since like 24, 25, I was ready. In my opinion, I was ready to get married. Maybe I really wasn't, right? But in my opinion, I was ready to get married, settle down, not necessarily have kids immediately, but just be with one person. But the older I get, I'm just like, I just want to be happy. That's the main thing for me. Like, I just really, really want to be happy. And that could be with a partner, and that could be by yourself, that could be with friends, it could be family. I don't want to diminish the value of a partner. But sometimes, as you've had experiences, you just realize
it could be hype.
Yeah, like, and even when you see a lot of stuff online, like I've been telling people, like, online is not a terrible place, but you have to really be careful, especially around this holiday season. If your mental is not right, don't go off of what you're seeing on social media, because
package.
Yeah, like people show you what they want to show you. Like, I just want to really be happy. That's what I really want to be. But I'll be lying if I told you that by now I wouldn't think my life would be different. But with that said, I'm not miserable where I am.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not upset with where I am, but I definitely would think it would be a little bit different. Yeah. Works. Were you laughing at Ngozi hugging me? Ejima boot up. Justina said happy birthday, twins. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm at a good place, but like, you're always striving for better. You always want more. It's never it's like that feeling of like you want to be content, but you don't want to be complacent. Like,
Pastor's just saying I'm content, but I'm not satisfied.
Content, but I'm not satisfied. Yeah, we want to be content and just take life a day at a time. Because I think sometimes the issue, especially women, I think are really bad at this, is thinking too ahead.
Mhm.
And sometimes you'll talk to some women and they're thinking about things that don't even line up. Okay, like you're thinking about, oh, like let's say I have my apartment and I'm thinking, oh, I need a 2-bedroom apartment because where my kids sleep. But you don't even have a man. And you're worried about where your kid is going to sleep. You know what I mean? I feel like women we have this tendency of thinking too, it's like almost kind of gets psychotic even. Like our thought process it's not making sense. Like I get it, we may want things, but at the same time, we have to take life a day at a time. Because even tomorrow, the Bible talks about it's not guaranteed. We don't even know if we're going to see it tomorrow. So it's like, how do we find that balance between being organized and having a plan, but not spending too much time being caught up in the future?
Right.
And overthinking about the future where we just don't even get to enjoy the present and the now. We just think, oh, no, 1 week from now, 1 month from now. What am I doing in 6 months? What am I doing in 8 months? What am I doing in, talk to some people, they have vacations booked for 2 years. Like, I can't do that. And I get it. Some people they really like to be that plan, but there's no way right now I could book a vacation for even next year. Next year,
January.
Like, let's say, like, not next year, but let's say like ending of next year, a year from now.
I said 4 to 5 months is good.
So I think we do need to find that balance, especially as women. And I think that a lot of times we stress ourselves out unnecessarily, and we mess with our own heads because we're just thinking too much, thinking way too much. And sometimes you're like, okay, all that thinking I've been doing, where did it get me?
Right.
Like, I'm thinking. I'm still not necessarily getting the results that I want. So why not just take a breath? And can you guys tell that we're matching? We got these outfits from Zara yesterday.
We matching.
But you can't really see it. Let me stand up. You can't really see. You can't see my face now. Okay, sit down because you know to see your face.
Don't you see my face?
So yeah, we're wearing matching outfits. Thanks. But yeah, I'm grateful. And I don't know. Just this year has been interesting. I don't know.
I feel like this year. I was thinking about this. I was like, I can't believe we're in November. I feel like this year has been.
Justina.
Yes,
okay,
Justina starting the birthday super chat.
All right, thank you.
I feel like this year has been like, it definitely has not been a bad year for sure. Like, I feel like it's been a good year, but it's been very different. Like, I don't know how to explain.
So can you expatiate on what you mean by different? What is making the year so different?
I don't know, like the feel to it. Like, I just feel very.
Is it a bad different?
No, but it's very like. There's a word I'm trying to use to explain it, but it's not coming to me. But yeah, this year has been cool. We have a month and some change left, so it's never too late to start. This when you supposed to start working towards the New Year's. That's what they say.
Next Friday is in December.
Yes, Friday is December 1st.
All that I can say in the past few months, I've found myself being a little bit more indoors and being kind of boring. And I said at the end of this year, I think I want to end it out with doing a little bit more things out of my comfort zone, going out a little bit more.
Bungee jumping?
Even not bungee jumping, even though it's a little cold, it's getting a little colder. I feel like in the past few months, I've been a bit too indoorsy and kind of boring. And I want to do something a little different about that because that's not really me. Like, I'm chill. I don't really need much to keep me activated because, I mean, it is what it is. But I was like, I want to try and do a little bit more in Charlotte. Matrix said, but I think the single life is peaceful. Can do what you want, when you want, and how you want, and don't have to worry about nobody's son stressing me out.
But I agree with Mia, but at the same time, I think that being a partner could be peaceful. It's just you have to be the right person. I think that's the thing too. Sometimes I think like that, and I feel like when you think about partnership, you kind of just we're so quick to think of the negatives because we're not with the right people. And it's not to say period. When you with someone, there's a lot of compromise involved. Period. So there's nothing like living life on your own terms.
Right.
That's how people get used to it. It becomes hard. I'm not gonna lie. Men and women, like it's different. Even if you love the person, you're so into them. When you have to everything has to be like a compromise, or everything you do you have to think about someone else's feelings or how it's going to make them feel, or are they good. It's different, but I don't feel like it would necessarily be a negative thing. If you really like the person is good to you. I think it becomes something you start counting and start thinking like, oh my god, when you feel like you're maybe the one doing it and not reciprocating, or when the person isn't they're not worth it. So then yeah, it's like, why am I sacrificing doing all this bending backwards for someone who's not it? But yeah, trust me. But I do think, Mia, I can speak to from personal experience. There is a danger to being single for too long, man or woman, men especially, but also for women.
Why men especially?
Because women, I say this, I was talking to one of my groups on Sunday about this, whatever. We went somewhere. Relationship
I
talk was
love
3 hours.
relationship talk. Y'all have
Women,
energy.
look at me. I feel like naturally women are just more accommodating and they're more flexible. So even if, let's say, you meet a girl, she's been like single for a minute and she's not really, but if she meets the right guy, she will open up. Like she will, you know what I mean? She will bend. She'll be more flexible. She'll be adaptable, non-combative, all that stuff. But for men, I feel as if, especially men that hit a certain age or men who have been single for a certain amount of time, it's harder for them to change. It's harder for them to compromise. Yeah, for sure. It's harder for them to compromise. It's harder for them to bend. So
I don't think it's gender specific.
I think it's a human thing, but I think it's harder.
Thing.
But it's harder. I'm telling you, I think it's definitely a human thing. Period. But I do think it's easier for women to make those changes when they meet the right person. For sure. For sure. But what else? Any questions, y'all? I know we know there's not a lot of y'all in here. Just gonna be the playback. But okay, so to end it up, then I'm gonna ask you a question. What has 2023 taught you?
Is this a New Year special?
No, but it's your birthday. This is the end of the year. What has 2023 taught you? Like a life lesson, just overall, what's like a big takeaway you have thus far?
I don't really know a big takeaway from 2023. I just feel like maybe it'll be like you can't force anything. Like what is meant to be will allegedly, like what is meant to be will be, but you still got to do your part, right? But I would say like you can't force anything. How about you?
I probably would say, maybe I would just say within a year, right? Because our birthday was a year ago. So from November 2022, November 25th, 2022 till now, I would say my biggest takeaway is to listen to your intuition, like listen to yourself. Like I like don't second guess yourself. Like when you feel like something is wrong, like act on it. And I've learned that in the last year. Trust me, in many more areas than one. So where I am in my life, like I really just.
But how do you know that fine line between like something it really being your intuition, or you just responding to like trauma, like previous trauma, like like maybe you have trust issues because you had a really bad experience.
And I get it. There's a fine line, but I feel like you know. Thanks, works for happy birthday. We're gonna take me a last question. What is something that y'all want to change about yourselves going forward? The things that you say I have come a long way from that. Oh, Mia, good question. Yeah, we're gonna make you like a moderator or something. You need like some special accolades for your questions. Mine, what I could say, that's what I say why I don't miss a Sunday. God has really helped me with my patience.
You know, I was about to say patience.
Me?
You still not. I
And
was in CVS this morning.
I'm still
She's
not the
calling
most
me.
patient person.
She's calling me. Oh, where are you?
But I didn't see your text. I didn't know that you
I'm just
responded to
like,
me. That's why I was
Was
like,
I not waiting for you in the car and toast for
but
like 20 minutes?
But I'm saying I didn't see you. That's how I was saying. I was like, okay, let me text you. I didn't know you responded to my text, so I called you. And I wasn't even rushed. I was just getting concerned because I walked around CVS. I didn't see you. And then I'm just like, yo, did she leave this place and go somewhere else? But like my patience.
Oh, thank you, Nadine.
Thanks, Nadine. I used to be very impatient. Like really, like to the point it's very bad. It was bad. Like men and women. Like just overall, like in no discrimination. And I just noticed it's like it's just like people are you just have it's a part. Like of course there's levels to it. I'm never gonna be the most patient person in the world because I know how far I'm coming from, but like I've definitely gotten so much better on that with that.
Patience. Well, I don't think that's mine is patient. I think maybe I need to work on
Where that's not what you worked on, what you've gotten back. What is something that y'all want to change about yourselves going forward? Okay, or things that you say you come a long way for. Okay, so I did part one. Okay. So I worked on my patience. I would like to work on maybe expressing myself a bit more. I feel as if I'm very like it's almost like my affect is just always like kind of like I don't explain it like I'm not really.
You're not emotional.
Yeah, I'm not emotional.
And I was actually gonna add that.
I wish I could be that person that could be sad and just start crying. Like I really wish I was that type of person who could really just like.
You're very hard.
Like I wouldn't even say just hard. I wouldn't say it's necessarily hard. I just feel like I'm just not like it's just not my thing. Like I'm not a crier. I'm not someone who's like.
So you think people that cry are a crier or are they just sad?
No, I can be sad, but I'm saying I'm not gonna cry. It's not my thing. Like I really will try. Like nothing will happen. Like that's not me. I wish I could just. But I also think I feel like it doesn't make me necessarily feel better. So maybe that's why I don't like allow myself to do it.
Or you don't think it's possible you're just not that sad. Like you're just a little like but like you're not at a point.
That's true.
You don't let things get to you.
Yeah, I think that's part of it because where I am in life, because of what I've seen and where I've been, I have a very high tolerance for like not necessarily pain, but like for me to get sad, it has to be something really crazy. Like I don't like, and not to say my mind may not go there, I may not have those moments, but like it's just like it's literally it's minutes, and then I just like do it, like I just like push myself out of that way of thinking, like because I don't want to be there. So I wish I could be more like expressive. I wish I could be more like, oh my god, like you know what I mean, like just cry or like call someone, be like I love you. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not like that. That's not my personality, but I think there's power in vulnerability. I think there's a lot of power in vulnerability that people may try and mock or look down on, but I think
because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of power in it.
So what's something you want to change about yourself? Change about myself. I want to just
frowning when you leave Charlotte. Frowning when you're anywhere besides your apartment.
At times, if I don't want to complain, I don't want to complain.
I used to be a complainer. I don't like.
So I don't want to do that anymore. Even though sometimes I still do, just natural.
Murmuring. God hates murmuring.
Or things. I've come a long way with this aspect. Last year I was like super emotional. I've never really been like that. So I don't think it's the bad things about finding the balance. And I feel like I wasn't really grown up in an affectionate household. I wasn't grown up where people are like, "Oh, I love you," or you know what I mean, or like that vulnerability. So even at your big age, you still find it difficult to do those things because outside of romantic relationships, maybe like I think when it's romantic, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier. It's still a struggle, but I feel like it's easier because it's just the nature of the relationship. I'm sure it's just the nature of the relationship. It's a romantic relationship, so for me, it's a bit easier. But I'm gonna try and just work on channeling my, like Ngozi kind of said, like my expressing myself better. And not being scared of, not being scared of being taken advantage of, or
that's the big one. I'm telling you, if someone wants to finish you, they'll finish you. You can't live your life. Of course, you want to take the measures to, the things that are obvious and keep yourself safe. But in this life, you can't really live. You can't live like that. You can't because you can only really control yourself. In ourselves, you can barely. I tell myself, don't eat this, I'm eating it. You can barely control yourself. So how can you sit there and be doing all this thinking for someone else and trying to derail? It's not healthy. But of course, be vigilant. But yeah, Yeah, that was a good question. But thank you guys so much for joining us during our live. Do you want to end with a prayer?
No. No, I don't want to end. Lord, I'm not a
You know what
pastor.
you know what we need?
God, I'm begging you.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you.
You're so annoying.
Oh my God. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the birthday love. We appreciate you about to be in the city tonight. We about to turn
I'll
up.
be home early, resting in my bed.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, these days, I just don't care for going out. I don't know if it's weird. I don't know if it's some.
It came to, I think
it's
there's a point in the summertime, like when I stayed home, I felt so weird. Like I was out like every weekend, maybe like from July, like up until like even up until now. Like I really have been like
what?
There's one weekend I didn't go out. Like I remember the weekends I don't go out. Like I remember the days I don't go out. Like it's literally like every weekend. I don't know. And I mean,
That's not.
you
I'm
have
talking about like
phases.
those days. Like last year, like we'll be out like Wednesday, we'll be out on a Thursday, we'll be out on Friday. Like like last year was like a lot compared to my now.
Do you think you're tired of it?
Maybe
you think it's maybe the
that's
place you
like-
go to you don't really care for like
yeah,
that?
I think Charlotte just doesn't have a lot of things that I care to a lot of places maybe I care to go. I don't think that's really even it either. It might be a little bit of a part of it, but then also you're trying to save money, you're trying to be
You
responsible.
claim y'all don't spend money when y'all go out in Charlotte. It's not you stay. Y'all don't pay for parking. Y'all don't pay for this.
I'm thinking of excuses. Like, what would be the reason? I'm thinking, is it I'm trying to save money? No, I don't think it's that. It's just I think there's nothing that's like wowing me that, oh my God, if I don't go here, I feel like I'm missing out or I really want to go out. I don't really have that. And I don't think it's specific to Charlotte either. I think it's anywhere. Like I'm just okay being indoors more these days.
That's fair. That's fair, but don't stay in too much. And then that's how you start isolating yourself without even not even intentionally, but like going out. I can tell. I used to be the type of person that I didn't want to go out at all, but like going out, you definitely do feel better. Like it doesn't mean you have to go out every Wednesday, Thursday. That's a lot. That's excessive. But like just to go out and just seeing people, even if it's like the smallest thing. Like
I like to go to like I said, I like to go to like Wednesday I went to Friendsgiving before I have my flight on Thursday. Like I like to go to stuff like with people I know and like those more intimate things. Stuff. Yeah, people invite me, but just randomly going out these days is a bit challenging for me.
Yeah, not being as like spontaneous as you were before. That's fair. But thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna enjoy the rest of our birthday, and we'll see you in next week's live. So the next live will be December 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, December 5th. Tuesday, December. But we're gonna have content coming out this week though. It's just probably not gonna go live because we're coming back Monday night, and Tuesday is probably not gonna happen. Yeah. So, but we'll have content coming up. Thank you guys so much for riding with us. Thank you for subscribing. Please like this video, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.